One of the major issues that's under discussion is the impact of subsidies on the environment, and particularly on sustainability. And what there is no doubt about, and it's indeed well established, is that things like fossil fuel subsidies, subsidies on agriculture, subsidies on fisheries, have a negative impact on our resources. We've got to do something about that. Often subsidies are put in place with the best of intentions, sometimes perhaps to promote what is seen to be a desirable environmental outcome, but then you get a realisation that in fact the environment isn't being helped by the particular subsidy that's been put in place. That subsidies inevitably distort the use of resources, they distort markets and therefore market signals. They don't tell us when there's a shortage of supply, they don't tell us when there's excessive demand. They don't tell us, they mute those signals and we don't respond accordingly. This isn't new. This isn't a new issue. It was addressed in Johannesburg in 2002. It's been addressed by the G20. It's been addressed by the 53 APEC economies. Now we're saying, Rio, this is the opportunity for you, in fact, to put explicit language, explicit targets around the removal of fossil fuel subsidies. And a number of countries will tell you, for instance, that they've subsidised fossil fuels to help those who are the poorest in their population. The reality is that only 8% of fossil fuels reach fossil fuel subsidies reach the 20% in the lowest wealth quintile, and that reality is pretty obvious. The middle class benefits most from fossil fuel subsidies. They own more motor cars, they use them more regularly, they own more appliances and air conditioning systems and just about everything else. They use more energy and therefore they benefit from the fossil fuel subsidy. We could in fact be far better with proper poverty alleviation focused programs than to try and pursue this through the subsidising of something that actually negatively impacts on the environment and on the global economy. We can't afford these subsidies anymore. The world is in economic crisis. It's not ready for this sort of thing. The reality is we need more explicit language in the Rio Plus 20 output document. We need something that says this is a call to action. Insofar as that is being avoided because people don't want to be tied down to specific courses of action, then civil society has a role to play because they can talk to their governments, they can talk to their delegations and say, this is what we expect of you. You represent us, please do it.